And the girls are smart. They know something's going on. But they don't realize the depth of the prank just yet. Who's ready for more voice mischief stories? So I had a few comments in my last few videos on this. People asking if I've ever done prank calls on people. And come on, you guys. Come on. Y'all know it had to happen a few times. I'll tell you guys about one of my favorite pranks that I ever pulled. This was back, I think this was in middle school. Wow, this was a long time ago. But yeah, this is when, I think this was close to when I got my first cell phone. I was about 13 when I did. And it was not a smartphone, all you young kids. Yeah, it was one of those little Nokia bricks. Y'all older people know what I'm talking about. Where you had to text by using like just those buttons, and you had to like press the button like 4 times to get the letter you wanted. Oh, those were dark days.
We have technology.
But I did love playing Snake on that thing. That was fun. But anyways, there's a little something called Star 67 that helped out this prank a lot. Because caller ID had just become like a thing. I'm dating myself with all of these. Caller ID just became a thing. Right around the time I got a Bronto burger to go with my Stegosaurus ribs. So yeah, there was a group of girls that I was really good friends with in middle school, and they all decided to have a big sleepover together. When I heard this, I knew I had to go poke a little bit of fun with them, especially because I liked one of the girls. In teenager brain, that's how you show you're interested in a girl. You prank call them while they're having a sleepover with their friends. That's a true show of romance right there. Mwah.
You ever see a little boy smitten with a girl? It's hilarious. It's like, look at her, she's amazing. And with all my might, I shall throw this rock at her.
Is it any wonder I'm still single? But anyways, I got the bright idea to prank call them, and I didn't want to do anything malicious or like scare them too bad. I just wanted to be goofy and dorky. So I do the whole Star 67. And for those of you who are too young to know what that is, you put that in as you're putting in the phone number, and it'll actually like hide your caller ID. So I call, and she says, hello, and I realize I haven't really planned what I'm gonna do. I just knew I was gonna prank call them with a voice. I know I couldn't do like an established cartoon character or something. They know it was me like that. But what if I was posing as somebody who's doing a survey? There were tons of these calls that would go out just like, can you help us with this survey? Can you tell us about this survey? It was so annoying, so I figured I'd jump on the train too, but we'd have a little fun on what the survey would be. I came up with this in like 2 seconds, so I know it's a dumb idea, but this is what I said. Yes, hello. So I'm like totally doing a survey. Like, do you guys get a lot of calls for people to do surveys? I know it can be so annoying, and I realize that's what I'm doing here, but trust me, I'm working with a company to try to make sure that we can limit the amount of surveys that call you. So yes, how many do you experience? Is it like maybe 2 or 3 a week? Maybe more, maybe less? Go ahead and spill the deeds. I don't know what possessed me to do a survey on if you've been surveyed. This is where my brain goes, you guys. This is just where it goes. I was also like 14. That was gold for a 14-year-old. So I didn't realize that all the girls were listening to this. I thought it was just this one girl in particular, but they were all listening. And the girls are smart. They know something's going on. But they don't realize the depth of the prank just yet. So the girl I'm talking to is like, oh yeah, you know, it happens more than I'd like. Oh, more than you'd like? So tell me, is it how much? How much? Like a couple times a week? Maybe 3 to 4? What do you have? And she's like, oh, 7 or 8. Oh my gosh, 7 or 8? Oh my goodness. You know, we could totally get you enrolled in this program to make sure that you would never have to deal with another survey again. It would cost you a little bit of money, but you'd never have to deal with surveys like this again. Oh my goodness, isn't that wonderful? And of course, she's like 13 or 14. She's not gonna agree to anything like this. She's like, oh, I'd have to go ask my parents first. Oh my goodness, I totally understand. Oh, and by the way, I want to tell you one more thing. Then she responds back, yes. And then I pull out my deepest voice possible, but still sounding like me. And I was like, This is a prank. Hello, girls. And I hear all of them just scream. And I hang up the phone as fast as I can. So like, it took me a minute to process that they were screaming as I hung up the phone. And as I did that, I was like, wait, did they scream? And then 2 seconds later, the girl calls me back. And then I answer it, I'm like, hello? She's like, Brian, what the crap was that? And I was like, did you like your prank? And she said, we knew it was a prank, but we didn't realize it was a man doing the prank. That's why we were all screaming. We thought this was a girl pulling the prank on us. And then that's when I realized, oh, I have power with these voices. I can hide. So I need to start giving myself more credit on the women's voices, because even at age 14, I could convince a group of girls that I was a woman, and now have played a woman on Mech West. You ain't getting it back for free, honey. But I think I also had a little bit of help, because, you know, puberty had only hit a little while before that, so there was still, I could still get quite a bit of that high range in there. So kind of a dumb prank, but it worked. It freaked out the girls like I wanted it to. I never did end up dating that one girl that I was interested in, but oh, well, c'est la vie. But still a fun story. So do you guys want to hear more stories like this? Let me know in the comments.